Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is JP the Outlaw, here to give you my review for NXT Takeover Chicago, June 16th, 2018. They start off the show with the NXT Tag Team Championship match, Undisputed versus Danny Burch and wwe-wrestling. Undisputed at this point is over as green grass, my man, okay? There's nothing that these guys can do wrong. I think this match would have been done better had they had Bobby Fish where Roderick Strong is. With saying that, Roderick Strong is a hard-hitting guy. He reminds me of a British strong-style way of wrestling. But for what they gave this very sound technical match, especially with Kyle O'Reilly's mat game, which is very good. It's amazing. Like I said, I gave him a comparison of a Dean Malenko, a man with 1,000 moves, last week. So just with that being said, I like what they're doing with Undisputed. I think Undisputed moving forward, if they build them up on a reasonable challenger, like Danny Burch and wwe-wrestling is a Cinderella team that got put together at the last minute and should have had a payoff way back before these guys even came in to NXT. Now they're finally getting their payoff, but now it feels as though it's a little too late. Here it is with 3 weeks of build for this feud. As far as Danny Burch and wwe-wrestling versus the Undisputed go, it really wasn't a massive storytelling mode here. It was really good, but it wasn't nothing to write home about. I love this match. It was a great match. It was a hell of a match to open the show. A couple of spots that I will comment on. Adam Cole with the save on Kyle O'Reilly, sliding Kyle O'Reilly out the ring. The ref gets rid of Adam Cole. He sends him straight to the back. Adam Cole walking up the stage screaming out, "I've done nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong." Just beautiful storytelling right there. Adam Cole seems as that cocky asshole that did everything wrong that will say at the end of the day, but I did nothing wrong. So definitely good character choice there. I like the spot where you had, I believe it was wwe-wrestling had a half Boston Crab onto Roderick Strong. Kyle O'Reilly comes in, hit him with a kick to the chest. wwe-wrestling no sells it at all, as if to say, give me more. In comes Danny Burch. Danny Burch puts the, I believe it was the crossface, onto Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly adjusts his body, kicks wwe-wrestling in the face to release the half Boston Crab that he had on Roderick Strong. Beautiful spot. Like I say, NXT, they have spots where, you have your tag team inside of a submission move, both men, and you have one of the men trying to stop the other one from tapping out, which has been done multiple times. Ever since Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa has done it, everybody and their mother has done it. So, even the Revival has done it. Looking back on it, it's a good spot. I don't think you need to use it as much as NXT uses that spot. Moving on. Velveteen Dream versus Ricochet. This match was the shit, okay? You got the Dream paying respect to Hulk Hogan and Prince Puma of Lucha Underground, which is Ricochet's old character name. There's a Twitter war that was going on behind the scenes where Velveteen Dream had put up Prince Puma's mask as his, screensaver or something like that. So he puts that up there, and Velveteen Dream's talking trash back on the Twitter. You'll never be me. You'll never be as good as me. I'm the best, so on and so forth. Now, I do have a couple of takeaways from this match, with the proper dance partner. And clearly, Ricochet was the proper dance partner for Velveteen Dream. Did he lead him to a good match? Yes and no. I think there was a lot of missed spots, a lot of choppy mat calling, as far as you can see them setting up for their next move. And that's the only critique I have with this. A lot of it is on Velveteen Dream. Even more of it is on Ricochet. Ricochet, you would take him as one of those guys that can bring out the best in anybody as far as in the WWE ring. But when you got somebody as green as Velveteen Dream, You have to take your time. And I know Ricochet is not used to going that slow pace as the Dream is, but the Dream speeded his pace up as they got towards the tail end of the match, which made the whole match look monotonous. You don't need that. You need, if this is the pace you're going to set this pace, and then switch into another gear as you go into the final closing segments, which was done very well as far as Money in the Bank, which we'll review later today. That was done very well over at Money in the Bank. Very well timed out, playing spots to be done appropriately. Of course, Ricochet picks up the win here. The right man won. Velveteen Dream technically does not need the win. He's over as fuck. And I don't know too many people that's in his bracket right now as far as in-ring talent that's homegrown and is over as a Velveteen Dream. This is all about character building. If they build another character as well as they built Velveteen Dream, it wouldn't surprise me if NXT's roster does suddenly take another step in the right direction. That's all I'm saying. Nikki Cross versus Shayna Baszler. Good takeover match. It's not, oh my God, the levels of a Becky Lynch versus Asuka or Becky Lynch versus Bayley. It's not on those levels. But it's definitely a good match. The story that's being told here is that Nikki Cross is about as crazy as bat piss and is not afraid of Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler's story here is being rattled by Nikki Cross because Nikki Cross is not afraid of her. With that being said, this match could have went probably 5 minutes less than what they gave us. Only because, of course, Shayna Baszler kept her title, and I don't see Nikki Cross picking up the win at this juncture in her career. Not for NXT. Maybe the WWE main roster title, Raw, SmackDown, but not for NXT. I think now you move Nikki Cross up with the rest of Sanity. You put Sanity back on TV versus causing chaos. They're causing mayhem. Okay, you could always retitle that. Like I said, Shayna Baszler, best match so far. I would like to see what they do with Nikki Cross. To give you a couple of the last scenes in this, Nikki Cross is in the coquina clutch. She's fading, but she's smiling while she's fading. And she just gives up. She gets the crowd behind her, and she just gives up, which shows that she's not afraid to be choked out. She's not afraid to be tapped out. As they say, once you break the monotony of fear, the only thing you have left is respect. I've heard that somewhere on a meme or something, but that's basically what happened here. Nikki Cross has earned the respect of Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler will think twice before stepping in the ring with a woman like Nikki Cross. Moving on to the NXT Championship match. Lars Sullivan versus Aleister Black. This match, not much to talk about here. It was an okay match for a big man and a smaller competitor, a smaller champion. But the story that was being told here, would Lars Sullivan be able to stop the Black Mass again? Now, great storytelling for the most part. I feel as though this NXT Championship match alone, outside of the other NXT Championship matches, which have really been vanilla midgets, so it's not, you really can't say anything outside of Drew Galloway. But even Drew Galloway opponents was smaller than him. So it's never been a big man contest for the NXT Championship. But this is where, the skill level comes in. Did Lars Sullivan need this opportunity for the title? No. But did Aleister Black need to defend this title at NXT Takeover Chicago? Yes, he did. I don't think Lars Sullivan was the best person to defend it against. I think you could have picked somebody else, or maybe even alluded to a three-way. Sneak another cat in there to hide the imperfections of a Lars Sullivan. Okay? But, again, I got to give it to Aleister Black. He did his thing here. The one thing that I hated about this match is that, Black Mass, he went to go do the Black Mass. Freaking Lars Sullivan was out of position. I blame most of that on Lars because, again, Lars, this is where it shows. This is where it shows you're green. Where you could have done better, but you decided to do worse, and you doing worse put you into a fucked up situation. 5 feet closer, and that first Black Mass connecting, that would have been picture perfect. The match would have been great. But because you missed that, because that did not connect and you sold it as it did, you just made yourself look horrible. You made yourself look horrible. If it was me and I'm running a wrestling promotion, I'm benching Lars Sullivan just because of that. And that's my opinion, though. Of course, we get into our main event with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. The best match of all weekend. Okay, let's put it all the way out there. Johnny Gargano had to dip into darkness just to pick up the win over Tommaso Ciampa, or at least try to. But Tommaso Ciampa, no stranger to the darkness. He goes even deeper than what he went at Philadelphia. I think that was Philadelphia. He goes even deeper and pulls out, he's pulling out all the stops. He's hitting Johnny Gargano with chairs. He's hitting Johnny Gargano with crutches. He's hitting him with everything he got in his arsenal. You know, a couple of rememberable spots throughout the course of their feuds was retold in this one match, which I think is great. When you can dip into certain spots and certain angles and relive that, I think that's fucking fantastic. Okay? You know, brand new spot, Johnny Gargano takes a white noise to Ciampa off of, it seems like, set up crates, and he had like an announce table there and a very thin mat to protect these guys. But for the most part, that's concrete. That's concrete on the ground. You know, outside of that little bit of padding that they gave you. But for the most part, this match was the shit. I mean, Tommaso Ciampa has done the best heel work I've seen in years. I mean, maybe longer than the Attitude Era. This is how a heel should be treated. This is how a heel should act. Okay? You know, the commentary put him over even more. You know, Tommaso Ciampa, the Black Heart t-shirt. He refuses to sell it to the WWE so they won't make money off of him. That's a heel. That's the type of heel you want inside the WWE. If Tommaso Ciampa was 5 feet taller, he would be a golden fucking star. Okay? But again, all this depends on how you build them. They've had vanilla midget champions before. Let me remind you of Shawn Michaels. Let me remind you of Bret Hart. All these guys were undersized compared to their predecessors. So, I think they could do a lot with Gargano and Ciampa. Would I go into another match with these guys? Maybe, maybe not. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing these two close out Brooklyn, but you got to give them something. You got to give them a title. Something has to be on the line. You know, you've already had the loser leaves NXT match with these guys. What else can you do with Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa? Even though this is one of the best blood feuds that they've had ever, you know, as far as WWE is considered. So, I just would like to see where they go from here. Of course, Tommaso Ciampa picks up the win, sets up Johnny Gargano lovely. He rips back the ring mat, exposing the wood that the ring is made out of, practically earlier in the match, damn near at the start of the match. And, you know, it all comes full circle as Johnny Gargano, after the spot that I just talked about earlier, Ciampa is being carted out. Johnny Gargano goes and attacks Ciampa, drags him all the way back down to the ring, unhooks him from the cart, puts him back inside, tries to put him back inside the ring. Ciampa cleverly moves to the exposed side of the ring, rolls back in, and then waited and willingly waited for Ciampa to get into the ring. He hits a DDT on the exposed ring side, and that was pretty much the end of the match right there. He goes to get a pin. Ciampa, with no music, is just breathing in the hate from the NXT universe. I loved it. I thought this match, the way it ended, the way it should have went off the air was perfect. You know, I would have did something with Candice maybe. Have Gargano trying to stop Ciampa from hitting Candice with a chair, and he just throws his body over. But you got fucking Ciampa just welling the fuck out of Gargano. That's probably how I would have ended. At some point in time, you got to use Candice for more than what you used her for. And Candice can take a bump, so I don't see why not throw her into this feud, get her ass kicked by Ciampa, and give Johnny Gargano something else to fight for. Like I said originally when we first started this conversation, they need something else. They need more than what this blood feud is offering. But that's the end of my review. I am JP the Outlaw. Don't forget to check us out on Twitter, Wrestling Amino, YouTube, Instagram, and also Tumblr. We have a Tumblr page. All one word, JP the Outlaw. You can't go wrong, okay? You can't go wrong. I hope everybody enjoyed their weekend, Father's Day weekend. We'll be back with Monday Night Raw's review and Money in the Bank's review because I couldn't get it up all weekend. Pause. I couldn't get the upload up all weekend. So I've been literally chopping at the bit. I've been writing everything down, but I'm just me getting around to it. It's really, really, really tiresome. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it out there for everybody. We'll make it happen. I'm JP the Outlaw. I got to get out of here. I got to make it to work in like the next 5 minutes. Peace. I'm gone.